Hi. Okay, so we are picking up on the second part of this how to create a box in HTML and CSS. We have our div and it is red and it's 100 by 100 pixels. It's a nice little box. And inside of it, we have our paragraph tags and a saying, I love dogs. Okay, terrific. And it has a nice red background. What we're going to add next is we will add a border. And let's say it is 10 pixels, solid black. Ooh, okay. Let's add some padding and see what that looks like. Let's do 5 pixels. Okay, so now our I love dogs has moved away from our border a little bit, and that padding makes it 5 pixels away from the left-hand side of our border. And I like the border because we can just kind of see what we've done so far. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save because it's prompting me to save. And now let's talk about rotate. So if I go here and in my style, I add transform, rotate 20 degrees, DEG. Let's see what happens. Oh, looky there. How cool is that? Okay, I like that. Let's see what happens if I do it 40 degrees. Oh, it rotated even further. Let's do a cool 90. Okay, so now it went to the side. It just looked as if the text moved, but the entire box moved. How interesting is that? All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and add another div so we can see two of them in action. So I go ahead and I copy my first div and I select it. Select div to div, so starting div tag to ending div tag with my paragraph right here in the middle. And I hit Control C on my keyboard. And then I make myself some space over here in my HTML window and I hit Control V. So now I have two little boxes here and they both say I love dogs and they're both rotated 90 degrees. How about I rotate both of them to 20 degrees? Oh, look how cute that looks. That's so cool. Okay, now let's say I want one of these divs to be in red and one to be in orange. What can I do? I can make a unique ID for both of them and style both of them differently in my style window. So I'm going to go over here to my div, my first div, and I'm going to say ID equals div1. That's what I will call this guy. And then I need to style my div1 over here in my CSS window. So instead of it just being a div, I'm going to say it's a div1. And I am going to go ahead and put my hashtag in front of it. And that says, okay, this is an ID because when I style an ID, I need a hashtag. And it's called div1 and it will be red 100 by 100, 10 pixel solid black border, padding 5 pixels, and rotated 20 degrees. Now, this div down here doesn't have any styles. So let's go ahead and make a div ID for this, a unique ID. So an ID that's only going to be used one time. And I'll call that div2. And now for my div2, I'm going to put hashtag div2, open my curly brackets, and let's say I want to take everything from up here. So I'm going to go ahead and select copy, and I come down here and paste, and now it looks exactly the same, but I can go ahead and change that to orange. Very cool. And I'll go ahead and save this. I'll fork it and save it. So it's a little bit, it's a copy of my own. It's a little bit different. So now I have a nice copy of something that has my rotation on it. So I get into settings and how to create a box in HTML and CSS, rotated, and I hit save.